Reacher's Alan Ritchson to star in mostly dialogue-free revenge movie. Reacher star Alan Ritchson is set to star in a new movie completely different from his usual work. Titled Motor City, Ritchson's new film has limited dialogue, focusing instead on being a rock disco revenge film. Collider recently spoke with Ben Foster, who plays Reynolds in Motor City, about working with Ritchson and how the new film expands his work as an actor. "He's very tall and very muscular, and he's very handsome," Foster joked before getting serious about Ritchson's acting ambitions. "He's terrific as a mover. I think he wants to do some deeper work, or rather different kinds of work than he's been doing, and that's a joy." Motor City is currently in production, with Shailene Woodley, Divergent, and Pablo Schreiber, Halo, set to star alongside Ritchson and Foster. Motor City looks poised to build on Ritchson's already established ability to perform in stories full of action, but the new film will do so with a twist, having just 5 lines of dialogue. Previously, Collider spoke with Gotham star Ben McKenzie, who plays Kent in the film, and he shared how important the soundtrack will be, saying, "The film itself, Motor City we just wrapped, is virtually a silent film. There are 5 lines of dialogue. Jack White is helping with the music, so it's like a rock disco revenge film. It's like a graphic novel, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out." Motor City director has killer vision for upcoming film. Motor City is set in 1970s Detroit and stars Alan Ritchson as John Miller, a man who falls in love with a local gangster's girl. When the gangster frames Miller and sends him to prison, his life is ruined, and he soon sets out to get revenge against the man who took his girl from him. John Bird, president of Motor City's production company Stampede Ventures, described how the gangster revenge film will blend genres. "Motor City is somewhere between an opera, a music video, and an action movie," Berg said, adding, "Emotion conveys without language being essential. The actors' performances are front and center." Motor City director Patsy Poncheroli has a killer vision for the film: dynamic camera, brilliant music, muscle cars, and an immersive sound design surrounding badass action sequences. Alan Ritchson, known for his commanding role as the towering Jack Reacher in Reacher, is now set to challenge himself with a bold new project, a mostly dialogue-free revenge thriller. The film promises to push the boundaries of traditional storytelling, relying on visual intensity, body language, and atmosphere to convey its narrative. As a lead actor who is already recognized for his imposing physicality and nuanced performance style, Ritchson seems tailor-made for such a unique role. This untitled revenge film will stand apart from the usual action flicks through its sparse use of dialogue, signaling a return to the roots of pure visual storytelling. The concept harkens back to the era of silent films, where actors had to communicate emotion, conflict, and resolution solely through facial expressions, gestures, and movement. With an actor like Ritchson, whose presence and energy on screen are palpable even without words, the choice to strip the film of extensive dialogue feels intentional, designed to amplify the raw primal aspects of revenge stories. Ritchson, the perfect fit. Alan Ritchson has always been an actor who commands attention, both physically and emotionally. In Reacher, Ritchson played the enigmatic ex-military police officer Jack Reacher, a role that required him to balance brute force with keen intelligence. His ability to portray Reacher as a man of few words but immense action resonated deeply with fans. This new film, leaning on silence and visual storytelling, will give Ritchson an even more significant opportunity to demonstrate the full range of his acting capabilities. In interviews, Ritchson has expressed excitement about taking on roles that challenge him, and this mostly dialogue-free format is certainly in line with that ambition. He has emphasized the importance of physicality in acting, noting that words are just one small part of the emotional spectrum actors need to tap into. With that in mind, this film seems like the perfect platform for him to further explore the nuances of nonverbal communication. A return to classic storytelling, the director behind this project, whose name has not yet been revealed, has been quoted saying the film draws inspiration from early silent movies, as well as more modern dialogue-light films such as Mad Max, Fury Road, and A Quiet Place. Both of these movies rely heavily on visual storytelling to build tension and immerse audiences in high-stakes, emotionally charged environments. This revenge thriller will be no different, forcing the audience to connect to the protagonist's plight through images, sound design, and pacing, rather than lengthy expository conversations or monologues. In revenge films, the emotional stakes are inherently high, and the decision to omit dialogue could heighten that intensity. Without words to dilute or explain the raw emotion behind the protagonist's actions, viewers are left to focus on the visuals, the clenched fists, the tightening jaw, the determined strides. These elements become the story's language, communicating everything that dialogue would traditionally explain. Ritchson's character is said to be a man who suffers a grave injustice, setting him on a path of vengeance. The film will follow his journey, but the absence of dialogue will make his motivations and feelings something that the audience will have to interpret visually. This opens up a fascinating avenue for storytelling, one where the audience must actively participate in reading the subtext of every scene. The challenge of silence for actors, dialogue often serves as a lifeline in communicating complex emotions. Without it, they are required to convey those same emotions purely through their physical performance. This is where Ritchson's strengths will likely shine through. His presence is powerful enough to carry a film even in silence. His athletic background, paired with his experience in action-heavy roles, means that he is no stranger to using his body as a storytelling tool. The challenge will not just be on Ritchson's shoulders, though. The cinematography and direction will need to be meticulously crafted to capture the emotional subtleties and tension without dialogue. Lighting, camera angles, and sound design will play a pivotal role in guiding the audience's understanding of the character's internal state. Sound design, in particular, will likely be a key player in this film. In the absence of dialogue, the creaking of floorboards, the rustle of clothing, or the deafening silence of a moment before an attack can speak volumes. It can be expected that the film will use sound as a way to heighten suspense and convey emotion in ways that words never could. A bold experiment in storytelling, while the idea of a dialogue-free movie is risky in today's cinema landscape, where witty banter and punchy one-liners are often seen as essential, it also offers a refreshing break from the norm. Audiences have shown a growing interest in more innovative, experimental films that push boundaries and challenge the traditional structure of storytelling. Ritchson's involvement gives the project an additional layer of intrigue. He has proven himself to be more than just an action star, with an ability to bring depth to characters that might otherwise be one-dimensional. This film will give him the opportunity to fully showcase that skill, delivering a performance that communicates volumes without uttering a word. In a market filled with noise, both literal and metaphorical, a mostly dialogue-free revenge movie is a bold, exciting experiment, and with Alan Ritchson at the helm, it's one that could very well pay off. Ritchson's involvement gives the project an additional layer of intrigue. He has proven himself to be more than just an action star, with an ability to bring depth to characters that might otherwise be one-dimensional. This film will give him the opportunity to fully showcase that skill, delivering a performance that communicates volumes without uttering a word. In a market filled with noise, both literal and metaphorical, a mostly dialogue-free revenge movie is a bold, exciting experiment. And with Alan Ritchson at the helm, it's one that could very well pay off.